Good morning. Day 15 of our 30-day challenge. And I recorded day 15 yesterday. I guess I'm a day ahead. So today's actually day 15. Nobody cared to correct me. Yesterday was day 14. Today is about assignment. And assignment is something that is deeper than most people care to really think about. What do I mean by assignment? Assignment is, another word is duty. And duty, I look at duty and assignment as very different than purpose. I'll give you an example. When you think of a spoon, what is the purpose of a spoon? A spoon's purpose is to take food or semi-solids and lift it up, move it. A spoon can be used to move food. It can be moved to use rice. It can be moved to use pudding from one plate to another. But when I take that spoon and I give it an assignment, and I say, now your assignment today or for the rest of the next 4 years is to feed my son. Now that spoon's purpose can be used for a directed cause. Okay, there's a mission. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Because our assignment is deeper than our purpose. Our assignment answers the question, why am I here? And we're here to serve. We're all here to serve. It's how we serve, how we use our gifts that determine how we serve and who we serve. Because there are specific people that you've been assigned to. There are specific functions that you've been assigned to. And what if I told you that you chose this assignment? That your soul, the part of you that observes, the part of you that sees everything going on, the part of you that notices when you're sleeping, that the deeper part of you came to this earthly existence and chose all of these experiences almost like spiritual exercise. So if you had to choose today a workout regimen, a plan that was gonna guarantee that at the end of 60 days you got fit and you got in good shape, what exercises would you choose? Would you choose easy exercises? Or would you choose hard ones? Would you choose things you know you can do, or would you challenge yourself? If I told you in a year you had to take on a physical test of strength and stamina, how would you train? And please forgive me today, I'm driving. I'm not in my place of solitude where I normally record these, so you might hear some background noise. But if you had to choose, what exercises would you do? If in a year from now I said, I'm going to test you on your knowledge of math, what books would you read? Would you cram? Would you look at the hardest math questions? And I look at that as an example of our soul choosing virtues that build us. Okay, I want you to think about this. What patterns are you seeing in your life? What irritations are you constantly seeing? Are you someone who constantly attracts people who test your patience and you continue to fail? That could be a sign that your soul chose patience as a virtue to be worked on. And so you're going to be tested in so many different ways. Are you someone who, when it goes up, it goes down? You make a little bit of money, you lose the money. Maybe your faith has to be tested. Maybe your faith is something that you came to work on, and you have to go through those faith exercises. Are you someone who is always fixing and problems are always coming to you? So this requires you to really think and observe the patterns in your life. What do you constantly see coming up emotionally? What are those things that are testing your emotional limits, that constantly make you sad, constantly make you upset, that you haven't mastered? People, especially. Look at your spouse. Look at your dad, your mom, your friends. What thing do they bring out in you? Because remember, if you have an orange and you apply pressure, you squeeze that orange, what comes out of it? Orange juice. Now, what if you gave that same orange to someone else in Poland or in Iceland where it was cold, and they squeezed that orange? What would come out of it? Orange juice. Now, what if you gave it to a child and they squeezed it as hard as they could? Orange juice. The same thing comes out no matter who squeezes it, no matter how hard they squeeze it, because what's inside gets revealed with pressure. I heard Wayne Dyer use this example, by the way. Very powerful speaker. And it's profound, because if you're dealing with anger, it's inside of you. If you're dealing with jealousy, rage, it's inside of you. It doesn't mean you're an angry person. It means that thing is inside. It's the juice. And so how do we get it out? Is by seeing those moments where we respond and understanding that this could be an opportunity for growth, that this may have been my assignment, something I have to overcome, I have to do my exercise in. There's another aspect of our assignment, a more positive aspect. What are things in your life that you gravitate towards? A gift, a skill. It doesn't have to be something that you were trained to do. It's the one thing that you consistently hear as compliments, as observation. Oh, you cook. You're a great cook. Oh, you are so kind. Oh, you are so eloquent. You speak well. Guess what? The people who are kind are encouragers. They can serve as motivational speakers. You take your kindness and your ability to encourage and to motivate others, you've got a career. But a lot of times we're too afraid because of the money. Do you have skills with children? Do you have skills with the elderly? Do you have skills building? What area of your life? And I've met people that say, I don't know. We all have something that God has gifted us. The ability to see things in a way that others can't see them. If you enjoy plants, and one of the ways that we know is by trying different things. So our assignment is not just why we're here, but it's deeper than just our purpose. So today, let's look around and ask ourselves a few questions. Are we living every day as if we had an assignment on earth? An assignment to do something, to develop a part of our character, a part of our soul, to experience. Have you ever been somewhere or looked at some place in a movie or on a YouTube video or just an image, and you felt alive? I enjoy going to any place where there's water. I feel alive in those areas. I enjoy culture, history. What do you enjoy? What brings you alive? What gives you that spark? It's an opportunity for you to look deep and to ask God. And if you don't know, you can always ask. Ask and you shall receive. It's not always about asking for money. Sometimes all we need to do is ask God, what is my assignment? Who have you assigned me for? And your assignment can be general and it can be specific for today. Today, you might have someone that you're supposed to meet, that you're supposed to change their life, that you're supposed to impact them. So if you did everything today as if you were assigned from the God of gods, the God who created the universe, guess what you would have? You would have a Facebook. You would have an Apple. You would have a Microsoft. You would have a Toyota. That's what they do. They work not for the money. They work because it's their assignment. They work as if they don't do it, nobody else would do it. What would your business look like if you took that challenge and said, I have to put this out here for the world? What would your family look like if you knew that you were assigned to that particular family? That without you, that family couldn't prosper. What would your company look like? What would your relationships look like? And every time you got irritated, instead of walking away, that you would know that this is my assignment. I'm assigned to this person, not just for me to learn, for me to teach them. Because guess what? When somebody sees you respond with love in moments of irritation, in moments of betrayal, what does it do to them? What does it say about God's love and God's light in you? And our assignment, understanding our assignment, it removes the emotional bondage that we have when it comes to work, that we have when it comes to relationships, the expectation. Because now you're not answering to them. You're not loving them because you love them. You're loving them because you love God. And eventually you start to see the God in them. And you can look past the frustrations. So who sent you today? As you go into the marketplace, who sent you? As you go into the world, as you go into society, who sent you and why are you here? You're on assignment. And guess what else? When you know you're on assignment, your needs change. And the assignment, the person that equipped you or the source that equipped you is always going to give you provision for the assignment. So you need a car? Guess what? You're going to get a car for your assignment. You need a house? You're going to get a house for your assignment. You need things, you need provision. Those things will be given to you so that you can complete your assignment. You will not be left stranded and left helpless. The resources, the people, the doors will open for you to complete your assignment. But you have to recognize when those doors are approaching. You have to recognize when you're in the presence of something bigger than you. And ask. Ask. Sometimes we get stuck. And that's why this Bible, the stories that we read are so powerful. Because they parallel what we go through. You look at Moses. He was on an assignment. He had to leave his family. He had to leave his kids. He had to leave his wife. But provision was made. Every time he got to a dead end, provision was made. Every time he thought, I can't go any further, provision was made. And that's happening in our lives. When you're on assignment, you don't need to worry. It's when we're off assignment, when you're doing the thing that God didn't create you to do. God didn't tell you, you didn't agree that you were going to go work that job. That's why you're frustrated. The money's great. The benefits are wonderful, but you're not on your assignment. And when you're not on your assignment, you're out of alignment. Not on your assignment, out of alignment. And when you're out of alignment, you know what comes with that. The baggage, the issues, the doubt, the fear. It becomes compounded daily, every day that you're not on your assignment. So today, let's choose wisely. Let's choose to, number one, recognize our assignment, honor our assignment, and be dutiful in carrying out our assignment. If God trusted you to save, to serve, to love, to do that thing, to make that product, to write that book that child reads is going to change his or her life. To open up that business, to buy that property, to buy that car, to sell those items. Those are the things that we've been assigned to do, to serve God's people. There's somebody out there waiting for you. One of God's people is waiting for you to serve them. And you've been served. Every day somebody is serving you in a different way. You went to the store and bought some bread. That was God's people. You've prayed for certain things and God's people showed up. So let's honor that today and remember our assignment.